And joining us now is Marc Doerfer. He is a senior partner with the California Mobility Center. Good to see you, Marc.
Good to see you. How are you today?
Great. And I know you are doing some amazing things at the CMC. Tell us about some of the priorities.
Some of the priorities for the CMC are really bringing together academic research, industry expertise, and the regulators to, in general, just accelerate the commercialization of new technologies in a big space of automobility. So on a very high level, that is our main goal, really to create that ecosystem where innovation can happen, where innovation can get accelerated. So that's it.
That's big. And you're from Germany, and you were telling me a little bit about it earlier. What are some of the trends that you're seeing in transportation that we should be focused on?
Well, especially being from Germany and coming over here in the last 3 or 4 years, I think where Germany's already a step ahead is really this whole area of the last mile delivery, micromobility going into that. I think there's a lot of action that has happened in Germany, and now it's really like up to the providers to find that last mile solution and match that actually with the whole concept of sustainability, right?
Yeah, and obviously you're here in California now. Can the US be at the forefront of innovation?
I think there's, especially if you look across the whole US, we need to be very use case specific, right? So, and I think it's the same then with being on the forefront of innovation. The way, for example, California is tackling, being very aggressive with reaching climate goals is definitely something that is, I don't want to say unseen, but definitely at the forefront right now. The Inflation Reduction Act is something that's definitely at the forefront. So from a regulatory perspective, there's a lot of push, and I think the way it is addressed right now, that is actually already innovation in itself. Like innovation doesn't always have to be a new fancy product, or it's sometimes just the things we do. For us as industry, it's important that we address that now. How can we actually take what's happening in the regulatory field and make it happen on the roads in our cities, but also in rural areas? So what are the use cases? So defining those use cases and figuring out what is the best solution for each use case. I think that's really what should be our priority, and that's what comes out of these pushes that the US is actually giving. Yeah.
So what's your recommendations for how we can move forward to fill some of these gaps that you've mentioned?
I mean, the future is electric one way or the other. It is, but it's not purely electric, right? It's going to be always a combination of things. So making sure that the infrastructure to support those new systems is in place is crucial on any level. If we're talking, we're using this huge cloud word, smart cities, right? What does that actually mean? Breaking that down. What is the infrastructure that goes into that? Is that the charging infrastructure for electric vehicles? Is that data points on our current traffic regulation infrastructure? We need to look into, okay, what's machine readable versus what's still like readable for us, because we're in this hybrid phase now where it's human machine interaction, it's analog systems on the road with more digital systems on the road. So I think investing into V2X infrastructure, etc., that's really where we need to be focusing on to close some of those gaps that, quite frankly, Europe and especially China then have.
Yeah, definitely. At least we're on the road, as they say.
We are on the road. We're moving. Right?
Moving,
Yeah, we are.